Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. May I begin by congratulating the Right Honourable Gentleman on his appointment as First Secretary of State. It was reported this week that Talha Asmal, a 17-year-old from Dewsbury, blew himself up in an ISIL attack that killed 11 people. I'm sure the Right Honourable Gentleman will agree that we need to do everything that we can to prevent our young people from travelling to Iraq and Syria. So can he confirm whether the government now has an agreement in place with all of the airlines to raise alerts when unaccompanied minors travel to known Syrian routes, and that our police are being notified by the Turkish authorities when British citizens arrive at transit points to Syria?
Do it now.
Well, first of all, can I thank him for his welcome, and can I welcome the Right Honourable Gentleman to his place? I think his father would be extremely proud to see him leading for the Labour Party today. And can I say, speaking for this side of the House, we're extremely relieved to see that there's no Ben in the leadership contest opposite, but plenty of Benites. Now, when it comes to the very serious situation around ISIL, when he raises the very serious situation around ISIL, I think everyone in this House is shocked that a 17-year-old citizen of our country can become radicalised and become apparently a suicide bomber on the other side of the world. And of course, we've also got those distressing reports of the families from Bradford. So we are taking a number of steps. First of all, we want to work with schools and mosques and other community institutions to help prevent the radicalisation. There's a new statutory duty to do that. Second, we're working with the airlines, including getting in place those agreements that he talks about and providing the training at the borders to stop people travelling to countries like Syria and indeed removing their passports if they attempt to do so. But third, and this will be an issue in this Parliament, we also need to make sure our security and intelligence services have the powers they need to track people who are trying to get back into this country, and I look forward to cross-party support on that issue.
Hilary Benn.
I'm grateful for that reply. I think the House would appreciate an update on the progress of those discussions with the airlines, and I noted that he wasn't able to respond to the question I asked about the Turkish authorities, because it's a very serious matter and we need to know where things have got to. Now, we know that for some time there has been a growing number of young people being groomed to travel to Syria and Iraq. Last November, the Intelligence and Security Committee criticised the government for not giving the PREVENT programme sufficient priority and concluded, and I quote, that counter-radicalisation programmes are not working. Why does he think this is?
Well, frankly, I don't accept all of those conclusions, and there's been a disagreement about the PREVENT programme. But frankly, I think in the past, there was a confusion between the programmes that supported integration and the programmes that tried to prevent radical extremism. And as a result, certain organisations got money that should never have got public money under the last government. So the PREVENT programme is doing its work. But we have passed a very important law in this Parliament that now ensures there is a statutory duty on these public authorities, like schools, like universities, like the police, to develop the PREVENT strategy and the counter-radicalisation strategy, because where I think we agree, and let's, after all, on an issue like this, try and find areas where we agree. Where we agree is we need to do more in these communities to prevent this radicalisation taking place in the first place.
Hilary Benn.
Can I assure the Right Honourable Gentleman that he will, of course, have the full support of this side of the House in measures that are taken to try and deal with this problem. But can he assure us that community-led PREVENT programmes are now actually being implemented in places like Dewsbury and elsewhere, including providing appropriate training to teachers and other workers in the public sector as the new public sector duty that he's just referred to comes into force in 2 weeks' time?
Well, I can confirm that that training is taking place, and indeed we've provided additional resources. But in the spirit of this constructive conversation, we have an extremism bill, which was in the Queen's speech, which goes further in seeking to disrupt groups that are plotting to either commit offences here in this country or indeed to travel abroad and become further radicalised. I hope the Labour Party looks seriously at that extremism bill and offers its support to this side of the House.